The name is Vanessa Guada, 20 years of age, and SHS graduate. And this is our story.
Albinism is a genetic condition that reduces the amount of melanin pigment formed in the skin, hair, or eyes. To further understand the scientific explanation of the condition, I engaged Dr. Bismuth Hoto of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, who is a lecturer at the Department of Human Anatomy at the University of Ghana Medical School.
Albinism is a rare group of genetic disorders. When we say genetic disorders, we mean that conditions that can be inherited. That is, you can get it from your parent. And this disease or these conditions affects mainly the hair, the skin, and the eyes.
Vanessa Guada, a senior high school graduate and a member of the Ghana Association of Persons with Albinism, has lived with the condition for 2 decades. In a family of 7 children, Vanessa Guada is the 3rd child with albinism. Reverend Bernard Wesley Agboada, the eldest son of the family, is a pastor and the founder of the Christ Generals International Chapel. Even though her parents aren't persons with albinism, her mother has a history of albinism.
Nti me feel so onu na abaye ho nti manda to pra na esumili be fie no ya manfo kasa say mafa papa nachi.
Persons with albinism face various forms of discrimination. This is evident in the offensive local names they are referred to, such as Yevu, Ofri, Keshoshi, among others. Kwame Daglo is the project officer of the Ghana Association of Persons with Albinism. He says these names generated by some members of the public to mock persons with albinism are offensive and derogatory, as they reinforce misconceptions in the Ghanaian society and subtly influence people to discriminate against them.
Call you Yevu or Agbelimo Yevu or Gesoshi. Yeah, if they say Agbelimo Yevu, that means they are comparing to that of cassava dough. Or Gesoshi meaning you are just falling from the sky. All of it, you just fall from the sky, and Ofri in Chi is like you are being like a foreigner or a borrowed human being.
Kwame faces some human rights abuses, which he says threaten his life. Under the same sun, a civil society organization which is committed to ending discrimination against persons with albinism, in its report, confirmed the existence of some myths, such as the body parts of persons with albinism being source of fortune and good health. There's even the belief that the corpse of a person with albinism can be worth up to $75,000 on the black market in some African countries.
A person with albinism will be living in a particular community for a number of years, growing up. All of a sudden, that person, you can't find him again. One would say, oh, he has vanished, because you have not even heard of his death. You have not even heard that he has traveled to somewhere.
Yeah, so what about that one?
What do you think happens to that person? They believe that person with albinism possess powers, lead to their secret murders. They secretly kill, bury their body, use whatever they want to use their body parts for, and bury the rest.
East African countries such as Tanzania and Malawi record some of the worst cases of violence against persons with albinism due to these misconceptions. According to the 2019 report by the independent expert on the enjoyment of human rights by persons with albinism, some countries in North Africa, such as Morocco, Tunisia, and Algeria, were also noted for discrimination, stigmatization, and public humiliation of persons with albinism. Although in Ghana such violence isn't perpetrated against persons with albinism, the existing misconceptions about them linger in the minds of many Ghanaians, and this makes them feel unsafe.
People say when you take a person with albinism, to the fetish place and you go for money rituals with a person with albinism, it's extraordinary and the money will come, you know. So when someone is approaching you, you think about all these things, so you don't even want to give yourself that chance to be in a relationship or to be loved.
Majority of persons with albinism are very sensitive to light, and eyeglasses can partially correct this problem.
I normally move from my seat and then I go to the board with my book. Before I'll be writing what is written on the board. Before I'll come back and answer the questions and submit it. And sometimes when I move from my seat to the board, I am blocking people's view. So people will be shouting, "You have blocked our view." If you know your eye is no good, why don't you go to the school of the blind? You know, people they say a lot of things, and at a point I'm like, no, I'm tired. I won't go to school again.
Due to her condition, skin cancer becomes a major concern as the burning rays make her vulnerable to the disease.
You can't stand in the sun for too long because when you stand in the sun, you have reaction. When I stay in the sun for a long time, I feel like, you know, when hot water is poured on somebody, okay, you see that's bombs that's come out. When I stay on the sun for a longer time, that's what I feel like. That's what happened to my skin. And when you expose yourself to the sun for a very long time, you might get cancer.
Richard Tavia is a taxi driver at the Kosoye taxi station at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange in Accra. He's been driving through the streets of the capital for about 13 years, starting as a commercial bus driver. Despite the growing stigmatization, Tavia revealed that many a time people verbally abuse them due to their condition. He says he feels miserable sometimes.
Say I'm for the ultimate cancer unfortunately. Hopefully for the ages kadru and I say oh dear yes. But I'm fine I know him with the man I'm here. Phone so dear. You also will be after me. So a man am no fee damn by offer me no. And so now can I got you say me Nyankopon me kura na also send Nyankopon no nti no tumi nya me hwe na me ka take on no so fia no so from bium da anope oh me fine ni be bia me de ko je Nyankopon pe oh on say Nyankopon body de nti na me tumi nkire de Nyankopon body oh hospital there me nko ka che say me bi ko chire ade mu sa e bia me yale na makomme hospital na obi sa say won fa na ya asa na ya ma ho aduro.
The Ghana Association of Persons with Albinism, GAPA, is an organization under the Federation of Disability Organizations. It engages the government on issues on persons with albinism. Governmental services are yet to catch up with them due to the complexity of whether or not their condition can be tagged as a disability. As such, many people who have the condition do not receive the resources they need, including educational support in school, periodic skin screenings, and medical supplies such as sunscreen. In Ghana, the local shea butter, which is in abundance, is used to produce sunscreen. A report of the independent expert on the enjoyment of human rights on persons with albinism indicated that although there are legislative protections in place, persons with albinism sometimes lack information and understanding on processes within the justice system as well as information on remedy for human rights violations. Normalized marginalization as well as stigma, discrimination and negative attitudes on the part of others may be disempowering and prevent them from pursuing complaints or initiating cases when their rights are being violated. To create awareness, the celebration of the International Albinism Awareness Day, marked annually on June 13th, was adopted by the General Assembly in 2014 and has facilitated public education on albinism. This calls for actions by government, civil society groups and citizens to support persons with albinism, which is an irreversible genetic condition.